What's up, YA Nerd? My name is Kaye. Oh my gosh, we're restarting. Hey YA Nerds, my name is Kaye and I like to read a lot. Welcome to another episode of Kaye Reads a Lot, where we talk about YA books and I pretty much just talk nonstop for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes about whatever the heck I want. Now that you got the rundown, today we want to talk about Scorpio Races by Maggie Steifvater. First of all, again, its cover is really nice. It's very simple, but the font really takes you in. I think that's because this book was published in 2011, and back then, book designs for YA books were kind of simple, in my opinion. Not a bad thing, just a fact of life. This book specifically was published October 18th in 2011, and it's 409 pages. It's a big boy. Oh, it's a little stained. This is what happens when your books sit on a shelf for a long period of time without going out. They get stained like this. Anyway, so yeah, it didn't really win any awards back then, but it is a pretty interesting book. I read it several years ago, and I guess I just want to talk about it now. Why not? So, the Scorpio Races follow Puck Connolly and Sean, whose name I cannot remember, who both live on like an Irish isle where every year on November the 1st, these people pull water horses from the sea and race them. And sometimes, most of the time, somebody dies. Every year they have a winner, and every year that winner is like crowned and they win a bunch of money. So this is important to know for the story because in this year of the Scorpio Races, in the book that you read, I phrased that right, Puck Connolly is forced to join the race, even though she is terrified of the water horses. She lives, I think, with her younger sibling on a farm, and it's being taken over by a rich person. She has to pay some kind of debt in order to keep the house, and this is the only way she sees that she's going to be able to do that. Sean, on the other hand, is the reigning champion. He's won a couple of years in a row, and he has some kind of way with the water horses that's a little preternatural or supernatural in the way that it happens. But Puck, she doesn't want to race a water horse. She ends up racing a normal horse in the race. It's crazy. But that's what she wants to do, and so she starts training to do it. And that's pretty much a majority of what the book is, up until the last couple of chapters where the race actually happens. So it's pretty interesting. It switches back and forth between Puck and Sean in terms of point of view, and you kind of get like a very good sense of both characters with regards to like their opinions about the race and their community, and their opinions about each other. So it's pretty good. So tropes for this. The tropes, again, are a list of themes and other stuff that I've gathered from the internet, as well as librarians, as well as friends, hi Tessa, that just better describe a book as opposed to saying it's a fantasy book. It kind of gets more like in depth with what you have in the book or what you're going to encounter in the book. And I also use it as a recommendation tool. Like if I find out that you really like The Chosen One, I could recommend you a bunch of books that have chosen ones in them. Harry Potter, Divergent, The Hunger Games, the list goes on. You know, if you like books with other things in it, it's easier for me to recommend, in my opinion. It also makes books like fun to talk about, so let's talk about the Scorpio Races. So for this book, we have beautiful first lines. I think literally the first line of this book is, it's the first day of November, and so today someone will die. Immediately I'm like, why? That's crazy. I want to know why, and it makes you want to read the book. We also have broken family units. Puck doesn't have parents. I forget why. I'm pretty sure they're like dead or something, or they left her and her sibling. But she don't got parents. And so that kind of falls into that one. We also have enemies to lovers. Spoiler alert, I guess. Sean and Puck kind of fall for each other, and it sucks because they're rivals in the same race, and they both really want to win for like different reasons. We also have Masquerade. One character is pretending to be something they're not. I'm pretty sure this applies to Puck. It has been a while since I've read this book, so I don't really remember why I assigned some of the tropes. But I'm assuming it's because Puck is like pretending to be like this expert horse person, and she's not. She's just a little farm girl who really wants to win this race. The next one we have is strong/smart female protagonist. A little self-explanatory. Puck is her own woman. She don't take nothing from no man, and it's great, and I love her for it. There's this one scene that still sticks with me where, like, this rich oil baron type guy, I don't think that's what he really is, but that's how I remember him, shows up at her house that he's trying to repossess, and he has her make him a cup of tea, and she's just kind of like, I'm gonna sit here. I'll make the tea for you because it's the polite thing to do, but I'm just gonna sit here and, like, say your piece and leave. And I'm like, damn, that's great. This book's also switching point of view, which is another trope. Basically, it goes back and forth between Sean and Puck, Sean and Puck, Sean and Puck. That's it. And the last one is Youth is in Danger. The water horses, when I say water horses, I don't mean like a seahorse. I don't mean like they're riding giant seahorses. I mean they're riding giant horse creatures that are made out of water that are also flesh eaters. And they let teenagers do this. And young adults and 20-somethings. But, like, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Why would you do that? So that's it for the tropes. Let me know what you think of them, if you like them, if you hate them, if you have other trope suggestions for me, you can tell me in the comments down below. So read-alikes, we got some read-alikes. We're gonna talk about books and read-alikes. Yeah, 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 yeah. So as always, with the read-alikes, I take one book from Goodreads and one book from Novelist and one book from my own brain, and I give it to you on a silver platter, as long as it, you know, relates to the Scorpio races. So from Goodreads, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and that's by V.E. Schwab. I think this is technically an adult book, because I'm pretty sure V.E. Schwab, it's Victoria Schwab, and she only uses V.E. Schwab when she's doing adult books, but she uses Victoria Schwab when she's, you know, doing her own thing. I haven't read this book. I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's supposed to be amazing. I mean, I've read other books by V.E. Schwab and they were awesome, so I'm assuming this book is awesome as well. I'm also kind of assuming that this book is about a young woman who's trying to, like, break out of mediocrity and, like, become her own person just based on the title. The book cover gives nothing away, so who knows? But that could be why these two books are related. From Novelist, we have The Run Hunt by Mary Watson. Again, I didn't read this book either, so I don't really know what it's about. I also, you know, the cover's kind of neat, but I really don't know much about it aside from that. I'm assuming it has something to do with, like, a young woman dealing with, like, supernatural force that's out of her control, but also trying to, like, maintain normalcy in her own life through various means, just like the Scorpio races. And for me, we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. You got magic, you got technically fae stuff, you have danger around every corner, you have a girl trying to control her own fate instead of letting her fate be decided by the magical forces around her. That's these two books perfectly, in my opinion. So that's kind of it for the read-alikes. I'm just going through this today. We're just getting them banged out today. If you have a book rec for me, leave it in the comments below. If you like my book recs or you've read some of these books, let me know. If you know what The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue or what The Run Hunt are about, you can tell me. Make my life easy. Just tell me what they're about in the comments. And yeah. So for my review, my rating, I'm giving this book a 9 out of 10. I know, so close. It was actually recommended to me by my friend Crystal, who's like one of my tallest friends. That's a good distinction to have, in my opinion. Who basically shoved the book in my arms, was like, read this! Go! Read it, read it, read it! Oh my god! And this was like 5 or 6 years ago that she was like, this book! So, you know, I listened, she hasn't led me astray so far, and I read the book, and it was really fun, and it was honestly my introduction into Maggie Steifvater, because shortly after this book I read I read The Raven Boys, and I really liked that series. So I know she's a great writer. She really, you know, gives us a good mythology on this island that we wind up on in the book. I didn't know about water horses before I read this. They are not a real phenomenon, but they are a magical phenomenon that is like a mythology that takes place like in the Celtic areas and some other areas. You'll find them all over the place in different mythologies, but she really kind of brings that into like our reality. So I thought that was really, really well done. even more than that, I really liked the relationship that Puck and Sean have. It was really heavily hinted at, but I am like hella dumb and I did not catch it until like the last 2 chapters where we're like, oh, they like each other. oh, okay. That being said, it was really cute. It felt more like the characters were just really interesting, really well-rounded. That's kind of Maggie Steifvater's like shtick. She's very good at like well-rounded, very interesting characters. And yeah, the book kind of drags in some areas with like the horse racing and the horse training, and that's kind of where it loses a little bit of points for me. I feel like those chapters could kind of be like cinched out, or sometimes I just want a montage in a book, and that was when that happened. I want a montage. I think this, I heard this might be turned into a movie, but I haven't seen anything about it. If they did, I'm sure that a lot of that would be montage. So anyway, that's it for the Scorpio races. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever, or not. We are getting pretty close to 100 subscribers, and once we get there, I do want to do a giveaway, so only you can make that happen if you've not subscribed yet. And that's all I have to say about that, so I'll see you next time. Peace out, Wire Nerds.